Before we start officially, are there any formalities or informalities anyone needs to cover?
I don't know what that means.
Perfect. All right, let's go.
You're listening to
The SchultzCast.
The SchultzCast. The SchultzCast.
Welcome to the SchultzCast. Today is Sunday, October 18th, 2020. This is a podcast for our family and friends where we interview our family and friends. I'm the announcer, Kevin, and here are our hosts, Samantha and Reed.
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
We have an amazing show today.
Because our guests are Uncle Bob and Aunt Molly.
Hi!
Hey, what's up?
Are you ready for some questions?
I don't know.
Yes.
Are you ready for some answers?
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
All right, who has the first question?
Okay, that's one question.
What were some of the Halloween costumes you wore as kids?
Oh, as kids.
Well, I sent evidence. One year I dressed up as a Jack-in-the-Box and my sister was a die. And we took boxes and decorated them. And I thought it was very creative. But most years I went as a princess or a fairy.
I'm going to show them the picture now. What do you guys think of this?
What?
Long time ago.
Why does it look like a long time ago?
Because it's very blurry.
Back in the blurry
It was
days.
back before color was invented.
There's color, but it's very dark. and
Blurry, dark, weird. It's a what in a die?
A Jack-in-the-Box.
Like the clowns that pop out of the boxes?
Yeah, I made the costume
How'd you make it?
out of a
Took a cardboard box and painted it.
construction paper.
And that's Sally, right?
Yeah.
Who's Sally?
Sally's my sister, my little sister.
How much younger is she?
4 years.
That's as far as Mommy and Aunt Sherry are.
Yeah.
Did Sally want to be a die?
I don't know. I just did things and I didn't really consult her about them. I don't know that she had freedom of will yet. I mean, I've made a lot of costumes, but mostly since I've been a grown-up.
What type of costumes have you made?
I made a Boris and Natasha costume for Bob and me, but you don't know who that is probably.
Oh, I know.
What show is that
something
called?
and Bonwinkle.
What are you teaching these children?
Ronnie and Bullwinkle.
Ronnie was the cousin.
I remember the spies don't know that they're getting spied on.
Yeah, that's the costume I made, the spies.
We were the spies.
Ooh.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
So close.
Uncle Bob?
Yes. Oh, me. When I was a kid, I was a donkey for some reason. A killer donkey. I mean, you can't have a regular donkey.
A killer donkey?
A very dangerous donkey. But you'll have to ask Grandma about that because I don't know why I was a donkey. I don't know why anybody would think about being a donkey.
I certainly wouldn't think about being a
Eeyore.
donkey.
I was also when I was a moss man one year.
What's a moss man?
A man of moss. I looked like a plant that could walk.
Reed, do you remember when we were in Florida and you collected a bag full of random stuff that we took on a walk and there was that like stringy green stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Gigi made a whole costume for Uncle Bob that was made out of that.
Ugh.
It was dry.
Gigi made all kinds of costumes.
Yeah.
Me a pirate. She did the killer donkey.
Killer donkey.
Did it have like blood all over it?
It should,
Or like-
shouldn't it?
Did it have a sword in its hand?
That would have even been better. I wonder if it was a political statement. I don't know.
What's a political statement?
Yeah, Uncle Bob, what's a political statement?
Pertaining to politics.
Wait, totally unrelated.
No, we're related.
No, totally unrelated to the conversation.
What's the conversation?
Anyway, you remember when Daddy caught the couch on fire?
When did you catch the couch on fire?
When he was trying to make the slime go and he took that lamp and put it like on the couch.
Oh, that
And
sounds,
he caught-
yeah, I remember something like that.
It was more of a smolder.
Yeah, we started smelling something and you were trying to cover it up.
You were babysitting me at the time. You were the grown-up in the house, of course. I took this glow-in-the-dark slime and set it on the couch and then bent the lamp that was in the back over to like touch it because I wanted it to really, really glow. And then
yes.
I think you smelled something, and then of course it burnt this hole in the cushion, and I was just scared to death about my mom coming home, and I just kept being like, "Do you think I'm gonna get in trouble?" And you were like, "Yes, I do."
You're gonna get killed.
I was like, "Do you think I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble?" And you're like, "Yeah, Kevin, I think you're gonna get in a lot of trouble."
That sounds about right.
So you always played me straight, Bob. I gotta give you
Yep.
that.
Can't let a good moment of terror go to waste.
Did you fight with your sibling when you were little?
Yeah, sure. We did.
About what?
About my sibling thinking he had any sort of rights as a human being.
What does that mean?
Yes, explain human rights, Bob.
He should not do anything he wants to do.
Hey, that's unfair.
Yeah, well, I mean, who says fair is fair?
Aunt Molly,
Yeah,
did you fight with your sibling at all?
sometimes, but not very much, because we played together a lot. But the most annoying is in the car when I had the back seat and she had the middle seat in the van, and she still got in my space, and she'd put her hand in my space, and I'd be like, "Get in your own space," and then she'd be like, "I'm in your space," and that was really annoying. But she was a lot smaller than me, so if I was really annoyed, I'd just sit on her. And then one time she pooped in my closet.
What?
I don't know that we really fought about it. I just like to remind her about it.
What? That's so mean.
Sally said she's open for interviews if you need to follow up.
Oh, good. We'd like to get a balanced perspective. Sally, we could interview Sally.
Oh,
I peed on my sibling.
what? You peed?
I
You
didn't
peed on Daddy? Is that true, Daddy?
think Mom's going to be the one who remembers it the most because I guess I was asleep.
Sleepwalk?
Yes,
You peed on him?
and I do it again.
What is the funniest things Snowden does?
Well,
Oh, wow.
Snowden is our all-white cat, and he is 12 years old. I had Snowden a long time before I had Uncle Bob.
That's old.
Yeah, he's an old cat, but he's pretty spry. So before we got married, it was just Snowden and me together. And then we got married and Uncle Bob moved in and Snowden didn't like it. We would go to bed and Snowden would push Uncle Bob's head off the pillow every night and take his pillow and sleep on his pillow.
Seriously?
He didn't want him to sleep by me. And so then Uncle Bob was fighting back and getting his pillow. So then Snowden started going to bed before Uncle Bob and getting on the pillow. And Snowden is white and the pillow is white. And I would go to bed first, so the lights were off. And then Uncle Bob would come to bed and he didn't know Snowden was on his pillow. And he laid down and then I hear, "Ah!" And then I hear, "Ah!" So they fought for about 2 weeks. They fought over who was going to sleep next to me.
And I lost.
And then the other funny thing, one time he caught a mouse and then he put the real mouse with his toy mice to save it for later.
He was still alive.
What?
Ew.
One time he caught a mouse and he didn't seem to know what to do with it. So he sat down and the mouse is in his mouth and he is looking confused. He puts the mouse down. The mouse runs under him into his fur. And Snowden doesn't notice that there's a mouse in his fur underneath him.
Does the mouse have a closet? Because Snowden could poop in the closet.
One time he brought a mouse to me in bed and it was still alive.
What?
Because when cats bring mice their presents, when a cat catches a mouse and it gives it to you, it's like saying, "Thank you, here's a present, here's some food I caught." So he caught the mouse and he brought it to me in my bed.
Where does he find the mice?
In the house. We live in the city and sometimes there's mice in our old house.
There's mice in this house.
We were at Florida when it happened.
They were all in Florida over the winter, and I was in the house by myself. And I went to the basement, and just not even deep in the corner, there was a mouse. It was like a foot or two out in the middle of the floor, just sitting there, completely undisturbed, just sitting there staring towards the room. And I totally freaked out, and it did not move. And that freaked me out even more. So I threw something at it and it still did not move. Look, the end of the story is it was dead. It just happened to have landed. I had opened this drawer and closed it, and apparently it was like petrified in there.
Ew.
And it landed just like it was just sitting. And I spent about an hour pacing back and forth in front of it, daring it to move. I just wanted to run away. I didn't want to catch it. I didn't want to kill it. I just wanted it gone. And I finally like threw a box over it and dragged the box. And I didn't hear any rattling. And I dragged it to the garage. It was like an hour of me catching a dead mouse. It was ridiculous.
He's got a law degree, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Snowden could teach me a thing or two.
Send Snowden over here. Put him in a truck. Get him to New York.
I'm sure your dad would love that.
So would I.
Well, he's asleep right now, which is
is
what he usually
what he does
is.
most of the time.
I wish we could see Snowden.
This just in, folks. Through the wire, we have a picture of Snowden.
Don't let that fool you. He's not that sweet.
I know Uncle Bob, and I can see this cat, and I know whose side I'm on.
Uncle Bob's.
No. Did you hear the story so far? Snowden looks peaceful and adorable, and Uncle Bob is neither.
That's all we have for today. Thanks to our guests, Uncle Bob and Aunt Molly.
Thank you.
Did you have fun?
Well, of course we had
We had
fun.
Do you think everyone should come on the SchultzCast?
Everyone. I mean, there's 4.5 billion people out there that need to be on this. Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye. Love you. Love you. Bye. Love you.
Bye.
All right, guys, one of their questions we asking is if siblings fight, but we do not need siblings fighting on the podcast.
I think we do.
Or if they are, it's going to be me and Uncle Bob, not you two.